Hello. Yo.
What's the name of this show?
Welcome to Mary Elizabeth Jones's Variety Hour.
Yes. You know why you had a moment's hesitation? We haven't done a show in so long.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't done a show in a whole year. No, since the beginning of the year. This is the last. So happy 2026.
Yes.
It's nearly March. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh boy. Oh, you're Mary Elizabeth. I'm
Yes.
Kaye Lazar. How you doing, everybody? Anyway, there's a lot of reasons why you haven't seen us in a while, and if you live anywhere on the East Coast or anywhere in America, you will know that there was a terrible blizzard,
Yeah,
and it was like one of the worst blizzards I've ever been in. Not so much that it was so bad the first day, but what happened was it took 2 weeks before the ice and snow melted at all.
yeah.
The kids had a whole week off from school,
Oh, yeah.
and my your work schedule was kind of curtailed. Everyone had to work from home for the most part. I'm Kaye Lazar, and so what did you do anything good during that blizzard? Did you like read a book or catch up on TV or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Do a sculpture? What'd you do?
I went on the internet mostly. So.
Oh well, that's what we all did. Yeah, I guess that's what we all did.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, I did something very good. I did see my continuing education for my insurance underwriting, and as part of my law degree and everything. So what happened was I renewed it not just for the current term, but I renewed it for the next term.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm all working well till 2029. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's that. So I don't have to, I could just do my work. I don't have to go to that class and take those tests and everything. There's nothing more discouraging than having to go take tests
Yeah.
at my age. What?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know. It's almost like, where's your badge? He goes, we don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah.
Treasure Sierra Madre. I don't have to prove to anybody how smart I am.
Yeah.
My word is my bond.
Yeah.
Good day, sir. Then I twiddle my mustache and leave.
Yeah.
I let's see. So, but you actually started off January pretty exciting. You were on your way to New York, and tell us about your trip to New York.
I had a good trip. I walked around. We looked at the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you steal a ball? One of the?
Oh no.
Are the balls on the tree really huge? Like they're like big as basketballs, or are they just little ones like we have in our own trees?
Looks like they're big as basketball.
The perspective is they had to cut down that huge tree. It's not like a tree in your neighborhood. It's like a huge tree that they have to find in the forests in, I think, Canada or somewhere, and then they have to. I don't know how they get it. Do they get helicopters to bring it on pulleys and everything? There's something to be innately sad about Christmas trees because they're not going to live much longer after they're on life support at that point.
Yeah.
So, what did you go to the tree lighting, or did they turn the tree off when you were there, or what happened?
No, it was still on.
It was still on, okay.
Because they didn't take it down yet.
Yeah, it was the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
Lasts until January 5th.
Yeah.
January 6th, everything comes down.
Yeah.
And so did you do any shopping in New York?
I did. I went to this little Japanese store.
Yeah.
Japanese inspired store.
Yeah.
They had different things like Hello Kitty and all that.
Okay.
I think it's called Minoso, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what did you buy there?
I bought. What did I get?
Did you buy some sushi there?
I bought 2 T-shirts.
Oh, T-shirts, okay. Of Hello Kitty.
No.
Oh. Oh, there's one of them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. It has talking cherries on it.
Yes, this please don't stop the music.
Don't stop the music. There you go.
So,
Okay.
And I got another one, but I forgot what that one said.
Yeah. You'll find out.
But
You'll wear it.
I got 2 shirts from there.
Yeah. And you know, I didn't go on this trip. I never go to New York and it's cold. Unless I really have to go. I went once, I think it was in January, and I was so sick when I got home. It was probably the sickest I've ever been. And I was sharing a hotel room with my dad, and he actually turned off the heat in the middle of the night. He goes, "I don't like it hot when I'm asleep." I said, "Yeah, but I'm freezing." And and when I got home, I think I told the story. When I got home, I had to take this medicine that they have since banned, Benadryl or something,
Yeah.
and it gave me an acid trip.
Wow.
I like the hippies would take in the '60s. And every time I closed my eyes, I felt like I was in hell. It was just screaming. I had an earache, so earaches are terrible.
Yeah.
And then the next day I was getting better, but I still had to go. And but that was all. That was also the weekend I met Woody Allen.
Yeah.
I went to see him play at his nightclub, and met him, and I met Sunyi. Wrote all about it for the local magazine in town. So.
Yeah. Then I went to see the Great Gatsby there.
The Great Gatsby, the real guy or the musical?
It's the musical.
Now, what are the songs in the Great Gatsby? Is all 1920s type of music?
Yeah, like 1920s jazz or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I guess it was original for they wrote it in the style of 1920s jazz, original songs, I guess. Or
Yeah.
did you hear songs you knew like Jeepers Creepers or Buddy Can You Spare a Dime or something?
Yeah, I've heard those.
I mean, were they in the show?
Yeah.
Okay, so that type of music was in
Yeah.
there. You know, did you ever see any of the Great Gatsby movies?
No, I haven't.
There's one that's really good with Leonardo DiCaprio, made by Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, yeah.
Who has a new Elvis movie out. He actually made the last Elvis movie with Austin Butler in it.
I bought you a pen of the Great Gatsby too.
That's right. 'Cause
Yeah. I
so
got me a T-shirt from you.
I try to be as great as possible.
Yeah.
I used to throw parties like the Great Gatsby, but I didn't just observe it from the balcony. I actually was there singing and dancing and drinking and eating with all and yammering with all the other people. They're all friends of mine.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone who throws parties always tries to compare themselves to the Great Gatsby. But you know, Great Gatsby is not a very happy story.
Yeah.
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 He it only goes to show you what happened. But I read the book in college. It's a very short book. It's only like about 200 pages. And do you know that Andy Kaufman, the comedian, if he was really mad at his audience, he would go out and read the entire Great Gatsby. I mean, he would be there for hours, and people would be leaving because they wanted to, you know. And he'd always like put it down and say, it's really funny. He would start reading, and then people would start booing, and he goes, "If you're going to keep booing, I'm going to stop." And then everyone would pull. I'll keep reading. And of course, in many cases, he read to the end. He did this on Saturday Night Live, and a shortened version of this, and everyone started booing him. He goes, and he did what I just said, and then he said, "Okay, do you want me to play the?" He said, "Do you want me to play the record where I do the pantomime?" And he goes, "Yes, yes, do that, do that." So he put the record on. It was just him, a recording of him reading The Great Gatsby, and that's how it ended. And to shorten it for that, but it's in the movie with what's the guy, Jim Carrey and everything. It's The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald. It's a great book. We wrote a lot of great stuff. It was all alcohol fueled. All those writers had a rough time in those days. You know, Sinclair Lewis was an alcoholic. Faulkner, gosh, Truman Capote. They all. The only one I haven't heard of having a drinking problem was Harper Lee, but she only wrote the one book.
Kill a Mockingbird.
That's right. That's right. Well, our fans know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Uh, I have to leave a message that I'm doing the show right now. Okay. Also, let's see. So so I got my continuing education done till 2029. So I think I used the time kind of wisely. So
Yeah.
that was good. So then now it's actually getting that. I hope it doesn't get bad again. But I heard there's a storm in New York, right? Blizzard a few days ago in New York. So who knows what's next there?
Yeah.
Let's see. And you actually auditioned for a play and you're going to be in a play soon. Yeah.
Yeah, Oliver.
Well, tell us about that.
I did it 2 years ago for CCT.
Yeah.
But
CCT, what's that?
Just for Children's Theater.
Okay.
But I'm doing it for BLT this time.
What's BLT? Bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Broken Leg Theater. Broken Leg Theater.
Broken Leg Theater.
Yeah.
Well,
since the Bucks 5 was closed right now.
And that's the other theater. Yeah. So well, what are you gonna do?
So I went up to BLT to audition for Oliver.
BLT.
So this is the first show that I did with BLT. So.
Yeah. All right. And Oliver, and you're an old hand at Oliver. You've done it before.
Yes.
Do you know what song you sing in it?
Ooh papa, that's how it goes. Ooh papa, everyone knows.
Now that I've heard of that, goodbye. I don't have to watch the show now.
You're going to see it.
Well, I'll see it. I'll see it for all the other people because I get to always have you come over and sing papa.
I got you.
Well, thank you. I'll be there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
When did I never go to a show? So anyway, I go to all the shows. I will go to the opening of an envelope.
Yeah.
I'll go to the opening of a tuna can.
Yeah. So that's it. That's one exciting thing that I did for the year so far.
That's good.
Is I'm going to be in a new show for a different theater. So.
A different theater, yeah. Make whole new friends. Yeah. If you ever need a friend, buy a dog. It's show business.
I have some dogs actually.
You have some dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us about your dogs.
One will be 6. One will be 6 in May.
What's the dog's name?
Palmer.
Palmer.
And the other one.
Oh, I know this. Palmer is Palmer the Pomeranian.
Yes.
See how brilliant she is.
Yeah.
See how smart she is.
Yeah, and I have another one named Polly.
And Polly is is a girl, I assume.
Yeah, she's Pomeranian too.
She's a Pomeranian too. Okay.
Yeah, and I got some puppies. PJ and Huggy Bear, Palmer Jr. and Huggy Bear.
Wow.
And I got other puppies too. Gracie, Buttercup, Jackson, Tips.
What? You have a regular Osmond family of dogs. No, but I must before you start complaining about all those dogs, you're a breeder of dogs, so so they not like you just let the dogs run wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Although kind of you have to let the dogs run wild to be a breeder. Yeah. The only pets I have are the roaches in my apartment. Silverfish here and there. Every once in a while, I see a mouse. Once I see a rat, I'm moving. Or a snake. Oh, that happened to a friend of mine. A snake was in their house. They lived behind the woods or something. And when you live behind the woods, you're open to all the snakes. Yeah. And nothing would be scarier than seeing a snake in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, you're safer outside. Snake has you cornered. What else? I'll tell you one thing the blizzard did that I didn't like. Once, it was like caked on your windshield and stuff, on the windscreen of your car. And then once I took the ice off of it, big hole in my windshield. So I'm going to have to get a new windshield. I mean, it's not a big hole, but I mean a puncture or something, and a big break. What do you call that when when your glass has a line in it? And now I mean it's not going to pass inspection next time I go to inspection. But it doesn't get in my way because I can see it's on the driver's side. It's not on my side. Yeah. So just have everyone sit in the back.
Yeah. I really had a good Valentine's Day too.
Yeah, Valentine's Day was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
great.
yeah, well, of course, when if you work it out right, every day is Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
and then well, St. Patrick's Day is on. Oh, somebody told me a great idea. You're gonna love this.
What?
You know, how to save money on candy, on like candy, yeah, on candy. The day after Christmas, when they sell the half price candy
Yeah.
at CVS and places like that, buy the green and red M&Ms, and then when you get home, put them in a in a bowl and separate the green ones from the red ones, and you save the green ones for St. Patrick's Day, and you save the red ones for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you were I've been keeping up with a lot of history. You were talking about going on the internet. There's so much to see on the internet, and you have to kind of discern whether things are true or not. For some reason, I'm addicted to this site called Quora, where people just write their philosophies on stuff and little histories on stuff. And you told me that you were on YouTube and saw a little documentary about the
Holiday.
1970 what?
1978 Holiday in Fire in Greece, New York.
Okay, the 1978 Holiday in Fire in Greece, New York. Now tell us a little bit about this.
Well, back in 1978, it really happened. Um, the Holiday Inn in Greece, New York, got caught on fire, and everybody just wanted to escape from there. But some of them didn't survive. Some of them did.
How many people died?
There were like about 4 people that died, I think.
4 people died.
Something like that.
It was like, I think if I remember what it said, like 100 people were staying there,
Yeah.
and they were able, because there was a lot of exits, they were able to leave pretty easily. What happened was, to this day, they don't know what caused it.
Yeah.
And the guy who was driving by reported it, and the fire department was able to come and save quite a few lives as a result of this guy's diligence and calling. I think this guy was like a fireman. And then this shows you how things get weird. This happened in 1978, and this guy, I think, is still alive. Or he was alive up until a few years ago. If he's not, he in the 2020s, they opened up the investigation, thinking that he was the one who started the fire and did it so he could call in and be the hero. I mean, that's what they think. He always denied doing it. And this guy is now the fire marshal of Greece, New York. And so it's weird how the fire marshal is kind of accused of arson. He was never tried or anything. I think it's been dropped for the most part, but they'll never probably at this point. I mean, we're talking 45 years ago, more than that, 48 years ago, that they've never really found any significant person who might have done it. No, I think they did have a suspect, but that turned out to be a blind now. And then they kind of see, trouble with a lot of crimes and everything. Sometimes the police are quick to find someone to pin it on, whether they're innocent or guilty. Very well, they might be guilty.
Yeah.
But then they could be innocent. It could be a rush to judgment.
Yeah.
People are, that. I think right now that Holiday Inn is now a restaurant. I mean, on the same site, it was a restaurant. So yeah, there's nothing worse than a fire.
Yeah, I first discovered it first on YouTube.
You discovered it?
Yeah, I was like, this is interesting. I want to watch this. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a few of the things myself, and it was I saw a lot of Inside Edition did a few follow-ups to it, but then in detail you get the longer versions of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm always afraid of a fire.
Me too. Yeah.
You kids are always starting fires, and kids are so enamored of playing with matches and stuff and torches and everything. I'm glad I got that out of my system. But it makes you wonder. I mean, you might be all right, But you never know that kids down the street might be match happy. Firebugs, pyromaniacs they call them. Yeah. You know, I was reading about another fire, and I looked it up last night. An even bigger fire than that happened in 1944, and it was the Circus fire of Hartford, Connecticut.
Yes.
And it was quite interesting. This story. You probably heard about it. I mean, it's probably the most famous fire in American history, other than the Chicago fire, or the White House fire. Almost every building in those days was made of wood. A lot of wood in buildings. Now there's a lot of other things that are flammable. You know, drywall can be flammable. The ingredients in drywall, the epoxies, the glues, the paint, certainly.
Yes.
This fire in 1944 was 7,000 people went to this big tent in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. You know, and a lot of kids, a lot of the men were in. This is still during World War II. So a lot of the men were gone. So pretty much all that was left in most of America were women and their kids. So this was an afternoon fire, like an afternoon performance at the circus. It was at 12:30, and what happened was 7,000 people came. A fire happened, and then more than 100 people died. I think 167 people died, and it started so fast. I don't think it was arson. You know what they think caused it? A careless cigarette flicked in the corner or something.
Oh, yeah.
The they built this circus tent on a haystack. I mean, with hay and sawdust.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you go to these tent circuses, they usually have sawdust on the ground, but they usually treat the sawdust, you know, so it doesn't burn easily. Like it's mud. Mud doesn't really burn easily, but sawdust will. Sawdust is wood. Let's face it. And they waterproofed the tent. And this is the weirdest thing. They waterproofed the tent with paraffin, which is wax, which is what candles used to be made out of, and gasoline. Gasoline. In other words, they coated the whole tent in gasoline and candle wax. Oh, and then there's sawdust at the bottom. So you know this place was gonna go up. I don't know if this was what they usually did. They made a claim that this was what they usually did. I'm surprised this is the first time this ever badly happened, a big fire like this. So um, uh, so two famous people, well, three famous people were involved in this thing.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles Nelson Riley, I saw in his one-man show. You remember Charles Nelson Riley, the comedian from Match Game and all the game shows and everything? Very funny man.
Yeah, he had a one show he was acting it out.
He was talking about his life story, and he said how he was from like New York City, I think, and he really wanted to go to the circus, and him and his friend went to that circus to that day, and their mother told them not to go. You've got to go to school because I think it was during school hours, but he went anyway. He was like I think 14 years old, and he nearly he and his friend escaped. You know, a lot of people did escape because it was 7,167. I think 500 people were injured. Um, but yeah, it was a terrible thing, and he survived it. The other one, now this I knew about the Charles Nelson Riley part. I did not know that there was an actress named Jan Miner.
Yeah.
And if she sounds familiar, she used to play the Madge the manicurist on the dishwash detergent commercial, Palmolive dishwasher.
Yeah.
You know, she would say, "Your hands." She'd always insult the people and say, "Oh, your hands look red and fiery." You know, she says, "Well, you come soak your hands in this." And he goes, "Dishwashing detergent? You know, it softens your hands while you do the dishes." And I think it used to be made with olive oil and coconut oil and palm oil, palm olive, of course, and palm olive, of course. And but since then they don't make it that they use all these all these chemicals that would never soften your hands anymore, just irritate your hands. You can wash your dishes with it, though. But they Jan Miner was a reporter. She was and an actress, and in the day, I mean, in the 1940s, and she actually took a bunch of she actually her I think her newspaper had a contest, and the winners of the like 10 or 12 kids got to go to the circus. She took them to the circus. Well, she had a deadline to make that day, and she left almost immediately. Not immediate, but before it started, she was actually out the tent door, and in her car, and then she looked behind her, and the whole thing was on fire. So she missed it, and she always had guilt about that. That I think she tried to try to do something, but you can't do anything in a fire. You have to leave it to the professionals, the fire department, and everything.
Yeah.
So um, she also was in the movie Lenny. Jan Miner played Lenny Bruce's mother, Dustin Hoffman's mother in the movie. She's also in the movie, the Mother Superior in the movie Mermaids,
Oh, yeah.
with Cher and Winona Ryder and what's his name, Bob Hoskins. You probably saw Mermaids, and that's rather recent. That's from the 1990s, and it's a good movie. And there's she was actually fired. I have a joke. I say this joke all the time, and it's about Madge the manicurist. You want to hear it? I remember when she was. They dropped her from the commercial. She was doing the commercials for more than 20 years, or 25 years, I think, and they dropped her because they they wanted a younger person to do the ads.
Yeah.
She was getting too old to play these. So I said, Madge, she was fired because she was looking too old. Instead of soaking her hands in that palm olive, she should have been soaking her face in it. The other thing was one of the guys that was a circus clown, most famous probably circus clown ever, was there for Barnum Bailey Circus. It was Emmett Kelly, who was he always dressed like a hobo. He was never said a word. I don't even know what he looked like. He just wore the makeup all the time.
Yeah.
And and there's a famous picture of him, just sitting down dejected while in the ruins of the circus in Hartford in 1944. And I'm not kidding. They call that it was in Life magazine, "The Day the Clown Cried," which became the title of a ill-fated movie that not having to do with that, but the title was the same title that Jerry Lewis eventually used for a movie that was never finished about a clown in a concentration camp. The Day the Clown Cried. Well, anyway, we could talk about that for another hour, for another show. But anyway, this is my Emmett Kelly story. You see me with the celebrities and everything. I maybe the first celebrity I ever encountered I was at the World's Fair in 1965, and he was there. He came up to me, and I was in a bad mood. I was just a little kid, and I was crying and screaming. And he was, he had to stay in character. He just kind of just moped around, really sad. I do remember seeing him. It's like my earliest remember was seeing Emmett Kelly. So I've never heard him speak. I think he died in the 80s sometime. I don't know when he died. I'll look it up. But yeah, so anyone who went to the World's Fair in New York in the mid 1960s probably encountered Emmett Kelly. So, you like clowns?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. Clowns are clowns are a great art form.
Yeah.
They're the way clowns are is that they're supposed to entertain kids all over the world without saying a word. It has to be mime, you know. So kids of different languages can still understand what the clown is doing, the making the balloons and
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Now, a lot of people in America don't like clowns. Only in America. Other countries they like clowns a lot, but in America they don't like clowns. And the reason why is there's a few clowns that give clowns a bad name in America. There's Bozo the clown, an
Yeah.
obnoxious clown on a kids
I
show.
remember Bozo,
You
yeah.
remember Bozo the clown? And then there's Ronald McDonald, who's a shill for unhealthy food.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's all those juggalos, those evil clowns in the movies, like in It,
Yeah.
Pennywise,
Yeah.
and then there's the yeah, there's all these villainous clowns. John Wayne Gacy was the clown. He killed people. So you got all these clowns really have a bad. They need a better PR in America.
Yeah.
Um, there was an article I saw this week in a magazine about the. I used to watch Bozo when I was a kid. Bozo and Superdog, the local Richmond Bozo. Bozo was out of Chicago. It was franchised all over the country, and our Richmond version had an actor playing him, and he was in the news because he died last week. The real guy. He actually didn't last in. I mean, other than the time he spent in Richmond, then he moved to I think Norfolk and did a different show, but not a Bozo show, just like a captain showing cartoons or something. So anyway, there's this famous story that I heard as a kid. You're gonna love this. That you would play a game like you have to throw the ball into the like I don't know like beer pong or something, and these two kids would do it, and or they had 30 seconds to get it done or something. And one time, and then they win a prize if they get it. If they don't get it, they get a consolation prize like a lollipop or something. I don't know what they get. But a kid missed it. A kid missed it at the 30 seconds. And this is totally false, but this is the story I heard. Uh, the kid yelled, "Damn it!" The live show, and Bozo said, "That's a bozo no no." And the kid and the kid says, "Cram it, clown." And then he goes to the pup, which is a pup little dog, and he goes, "And you too, super dork." And then a it was either a commercial or a cartoon came up right away, and in the background you just hear all this slamming of doors and knocking things over, and Bozo yelling at the kids. Is this what his mic is still on, but you can still hear it over the cartoon, and then they turn it off. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
so, a lot of people swear they saw this, you know,
Yeah.
but I didn't see it. It never happened.
Yeah.
So when it came my turn on the comments, I don't usually make comments on these things, but I said said I was that is a true story, and I was that kid. The story I heard was the game was a weird game. It had like a ping pong ball and two spoons and like a Dixie cup, and you're supposed to flip the ball into the thing. And you had to keep setting it up and doing it, and you had to, it was very frustrating to get it done. So and the kid never got it done in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I always hated those beat the clock sort of stunts
Oh yeah.
because I always get nervous. I hate being timed. I take my sweet time to do everything.
Yeah.
Time is a time is of the essence.
Yeah. By the way, according to time, we're gonna take a little short minute break, and we won't be back.
Can I come back?
Yes,
Okay. I'm gonna have an apple.
All right. May God bless you.